Good morning students. This is class 11th maths chapter first solution of the test. So question first was we have to describe the following sets in the roster form. So first is the set of squares of integers. So we have to do the square of integers. So 0 square will be 0. 1 and minus 1 square will be 1. 2 and minus 2 square will be 4 and so on. Next is set of even natural numbers. So even natural numbers we know are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. So this was the solution of question first. Now question second is describe in set builder form. First is 1, 1 upon 4, 1 upon 9. So we can see it is 1 upon 1, that is 1 upon 1 square. This is 1 upon 2 square. This is 1 upon 3 square and so on. So the answer will be x such that x is equal to 1 upon n square where n belongs to the natural number. Next is 1 upon 2, 2 upon 3. So denominator is 1 greater than the numerator. So it will be x such that x is equal to n upon n plus 1 where n belongs to natural number and range of n is from 1 to 5. Clear? Now in question third, set A is given as 1, 2, 3 within the braces and 4. We have to fill these blanks. So as 1 belongs to set A, so this complete set is a subset of A. Now this complete belongs to the set A. So here belongs to will come. Now in the next, as this is an element of A, so this element within the braces will be a subset of A. And 4 is an element, therefore 4 belongs to A. Clear? Now question fourth. The sets A, B and C are given. We have to find A intersection B union C. So first of all find A intersection B, which is 4, and then its union with C. Right? So the answer will be 2, 3, 4, 5. Now second part in which we have to find A complement intersection C complement. So first of all find A complement. It will be 1, 5. All those elements of universal set which are not in the set A. Similarly find C complement and then take their intersection. Their intersection will be 1. Question number 5th. In a survey of 25 students, it was found that 15, 12 and 11 students have taken maths, physics and chemistry respectively. If 9 had taken maths and physics, 4 had taken physics and chemistry, 5 had taken maths and chemistry, and 3 had taken all the 3 subjects. Then find first number of students taken maths only. So you have made this Venn diagram. We have to find number of students taken maths only. So this is the portion which shows the number of students taken maths only. So you will let MPCB denotes the sets of students taken maths, physics and chemistry. Number of students taken maths only will be 4. Next is number of students taken at least one of the subject. So as the information given in the question, you can apply either the formula to find the union of the 3 sets, because at least means union, or what you can do, you can add all the elements of Venn diagram, right? 4 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 5, and you will get the answer as 23. Part is number of students taken exactly 2 subjects. So from Venn diagram we can see it that here 6 shows the number of students who have taken maths and physics but not chemistry. So it shows the students who have taken exactly 2 subjects. Similarly, these 2 students have taken exactly 2 subjects, maths and chemistry, and this one student has taken exactly 2 subjects, physics and chemistry. So to find the number of students who have taken exactly 2 subjects, so you have to add 6 plus 2 plus 1 and you will get the answer as 9. Okay. Question number 6. State whether the statement are true or false. Justify your answer. So the first is, if x belongs to A and A is a subset of B, then x does not belongs to B. So this statement is false, and we can give any example. A we have taken as 1, 2. B I have taken as 1, 2, 3. So 1 belongs to A. A is a subset of B, but 1 also belongs to B. Therefore, this first statement is false. Second is, if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of C, then A is a subset of C. It is true because let X belongs to A. Now A is a subset of B. Therefore, it implies that X belongs to B because all the elements which are present in A will be in B. And also, it is given that B is a subset of C. So, if X belongs to B, it implies that X belongs to C. We have started from X belongs to A and we have shown that X belongs to C. Therefore, A is a subset of C. So, it is true. Today's homework is you have to read the content of chapter 2, Relations and Functions, because from tomorrow we will start the chapter 2. Okay, thank you.